Young master, did you take a detour? Alfred asked while he approached Edgar's carriage as it parked right in front of the stairs leading to the main door. Is that Alessandra Barrett? Why is she here? Alfred was not informed of Alessandra coming to stay tonight. They were supposed to leave early in the morning with an extra carriage to collect her things. Edgar was right here, carrying Alessandra in his arms. She is hardly wearing anything to protect her from the night air. Alfred was worried she might catch a cold. And where is your coat, Edgar? She is now Alessandra Collins. I hope our bedroom has been prepared for her to use tonight, Edgar said as he walked past a stunned Alfred. Did you just say she is Alessandra Collins? Do not tell me the two of you ran off and got married at the church. I raised you to be better than that, Edgar. Tell me I am wrong. Alfred knew Edgar to be impulsive, but even Edgar should know a proper ceremony was needed. We got married at the church a moment ago, as the moment called for it to happen. Alfred, do you mind closing the door behind us and keeping your voice down to not wake her? Prepare something for her to eat. She cannot go to sleep on an empty stomach. Alfred shooed a maid standing at the door to do as Edgar requested. Meanwhile, he wanted to get to the bottom of Edgar's flash marriage. What situation called for you to get married on such short notice? She is not pregnant, is she? Do not be so dramatic, Alfred. How could she be pregnant already? We got married because I killed her father. You did what? Alfred couldn't stop himself from yelling. He quickly covered his mouth with his hands to refrain from waking up Alessandra. Edgar stopped walking as Alessandra stirred in his arms from the noise. She nuzzled her head into his chest, trying to get more comfortable. If she were to wake up right now, she would probably die from embarrassment. Edgar wanted to see it happen. Alessandra, he called to her, but after no response, he continued walking towards their bedroom. Lower your voice, Alfred. I will explain it to you when our guests arrive shortly. Edgar knew it wouldn't be long until the town guards came knocking on his door, unless the Baroness would hide the truth and try to get money from him. What guest? Fine. Alfred gave up. He could only wait to hear why there was a marriage and a death on the same night. Alfred went back to the door to wait on the guest Edgar was referring to. Perhaps Edgar expected Alessandra's family to visit when they realized what happened, or the fact that they would want to avenge the late Baron. Alfred knew better than anyone that Edgar would never shed blood without a valid reason, and he wasn't sad to see the Baron go. From what he witnessed the day Edgar proposed to Alessandra, Desmond was not a good man. I lived to see the day Edgar got married. Alfred smiled, happy that Edgar had someone by his side, even if a contract bound them. A little piece of paper wouldn't be enough to stop feelings from getting involved. I'll have to meddle if I want it to be real. He started to plot. Meanwhile, Edgar carried Alessandra upstairs towards the bedroom they would soon share. Alessandra, are you really going to make me carry you all the way when you are awake? How cruel of you. Edgar stopped walking once he reached the second floor. He knew she was awake a little while after Alfred had yelled, but she acted like she wasn't. You can put me down now. Alessandra opened her eyes now that she was caught. She was woken up by someone yelling, and when she realized she was being carried, she knew it had to be Edgar. The plan was to pretend to sleep until he laid her on the bed. No. Edgar carried on, walking with her in his arms. Then why did you make it known I was awake? You could have silently carried me to the bedroom. And let you get out of being embarrassed? Never. Edgar grinned. He could not let this opportunity to tease her fly by. From her view in his arms, Alessandra stuck by what she said about Edgar being a cat. He could not miss the opportunity to toy with someone. "You are cruel, Edgar," she said. "That's not a good way to start our wedding night, Alessandra. Your husband was so kind to walk you from the carriage straight to the bedroom. You should be thankful I trained so much." Alessandra wondered if she would ever get used to Edgar toying with her. He made the contract condition for them to be together forever, as he only wanted to be married once. Forever was such a long time. How was she going to survive him? Alfred said the room has been prepared. There aren't any clothes for you, considering your belongings aren't here, and I did not know what your size is to order any clothing. You can wear one of my shirts to sleep in, and I will have a maid sort out your dress in the morning. Edgar placed her down right in front of the bedroom door. "Aren't you coming in? This was your bedroom, right?" Alessandra didn't see why he stopped right there instead of going in with her. She was not uncomfortable with sharing a room with Edgar. She was well aware of what they had agreed upon. "I will soon have a visitor regarding your father's. Tonight, I will let you settle in and get accustomed to your new environment. However, if you think you will miss my wonderful presence." "Good night," Alessandra said, then opened the door. She was not going to pump up Edgar's already large ego. "Wait, shouldn't I be there when you have to speak about what happened with my father?" "You will be needed in the morning. Sleep well," he replied. Edgar waited for her to go inside and close the door. She was not needed in the morning, as he would take care of this problem entirely tonight. He did not want to be hearing about Desmond Barrett ever again. "Young master, the captain of the town guards is here to have a word with you," Alfred called from the stairs. Edgar rested his hands in his pockets and went downstairs to deal with his unwanted guests. The only time the town guards seemed to be on time was when they had to come to his home to question him. "To what do I owe this unpleasant visit?" Edgar asked the moment he arrived on the ground floor. "Oliver," he greeted the captain. "Edgar!" Oliver scowled at the sight of the man who made his job harder. "Duke Collins, why is it that I am hearing you, the Baron, Desmond Barrett? You cannot Baron and get away with it." "The king entrusted me with the task of removing all vermin in the kingdom. I was merely doing my job, and it didn't help that the Baron was manhandling my wife. As a newly engaged man, I am certain you understand the rage I would have felt. That is, unless you don't like the young woman you are to wed," said Edgar. "Wife?" Oliver gripped his sword, annoyed by the news. "Everyone knows you are not married, Edgar. The Baroness spoke nothing of you being her daughter's husband, and I know you would never marry Kate." Oliver knew Edgar well enough, as they used to be friends, but they grew apart as they got older. "I am married to the Baron's other daughter, Alessandra." Edgar showed his finger with the wired ring. "The Baron's masked daughter?" Oliver was shocked to hear this. No one in their right mind would marry the girl with so many rumors surrounding her. Then again, he never thought of Edgar as a sane person. "Did you marry her only to justify her father?" "Alfred, bring me the papers on my desk labeled Desmond Barrett. They will contain enough evidence for you to get the hell off my property. As an old friend, it's a shame you have not said congratulations." Edgar feigned sadness. "I will only congratulate my friends, and not a duke." Oliver was suspicious of Edgar suddenly being married to Alessandra, when the Baron was now. Edgar was never the type to care about relationships, and to one day just be married out of the blue? Edgar was not meant to end up with anyone. How long are you going to be angry with me when you are the one slowly distancing yourself from me? Edgar asked, as he could no longer deal with Oliver meddling in his affairs. Somehow, Oliver could not seem to realize his actions of constantly trying to have Edgar thrown in a cell. Oliver, for some reason, disliked the additional power the king gave to Edgar and looked to find a flaw in every job he did. Oliver was the one to end the friendship, so why was he so invested in meddling in Edgar's business? Edgar had long let go of their friendship after Oliver started to distance himself in the past. Don't flatter yourself, Edgar. In case you have forgotten, I am the captain. I oversee matters on this side of the town. Wrong. You force yourself to be involved in anything with my name attached. I have eyes and ears all around the kingdom, Oliver. Since we used to be friends, I have tolerated your ways, but I cannot any longer. You can question me about the Baron as it is your job, but do not allow whatever ill feelings you have towards me to make you forget what kind of man the Baron was. Edgar had been in this position where Oliver would question every single move he made, even if Oliver knew Edgar's actions were justified. Young master, Alfred returned with a stack of papers and handed it off to Oliver. Go through it well and see the crimes Desmond has piled up. You might hate me, but you know I never without reason. A good host would show you out, but I have no intention of watching you and your men leave. I have a wedding night to enjoy. Alfred, see to it that all the town guards leave and anyone loitering around is... said Edgar. You just said you never without reason, and yet you just ordered my men to be... Oliver replied, releasing his grip on his sword to get rid of the temptation to point it at Edgar. I have every right to anyone still loitering around on my estate. I am the Duke of this land, Oliver. I can trespassers on my land. Time is ticking for you to be gone. Be gone by the time I count to 10. 1. Edgar began to count. To rid Edgar of his cockiness, Oliver unsheathed his sword and pointed it at Edgar's face. I hate men like you who abuse your power. And I hate ignorance, Edgar replied, unfazed by the sword inches away from his face. Put away that sword before you hurt yourself, Oliver. You walk around like you are the king, but I will be watching and waiting for you to mess up. Get an actual hobby to occupy your time, Edgar recommended. Even if what you have in the papers were enough to kill the Baron, you must speak with his wife. The Baroness wants to have a word with you. She deserves an explanation, considering you are walking away free. Good night. Oliver retreated his sword. He took the stacks of paper from Alfred and then proceeded to leave as the other guards were waiting on the outside. What happened between the two of you? You two used to be such good friends. I had high hopes you two would still be friends after you changed from boys to men, Alfred said with a hint of sadness in his voice. Of all the young men Edgar became acquainted with, Oliver was one of the few he viewed as Edgar's friend. I cannot answer that, as Oliver was the one to end our friendship without any explanation. Now he goes around running whenever he hears my name as he looks to throw me in jail. Send a bottle of alcohol to the empty bedroom on the second floor to the left of the stairs, said Edgar. Are you truly going to spend your wedding night in separate rooms? Your bedroom has been set up for the both of you, just like you requested. Even if he wasn't the best father, he still was her father, and the Duchess will need to be comforted. Do not share separate rooms tonight, Alfred advised Edgar. He imagined the emotions Alessandra was going through now that she was alone in her room. I am not the best when it comes to comforting someone. I will check on her for a moment, but we will not share a room tonight. Do not ask me about it again. Edgar knew what Alfred was trying to do, but they both agreed to no feelings. It was better that way. What was the point of getting married to her then? You could have helped her without getting married to her. You were so adamant about not getting married and wanting to be alone. Can you honestly say there are no feelings involved? Asked Alfred. There are no feelings involved, Alfred. I barely know Alessandra. Enough to marry her, Alfred interjected. What is your reason behind this? She simply amuses me. Out of all the women I have come across, none have amused me as Alessandra has. She wanted freedom, and I wanted the marriage offers to stop. We both got what we wanted, and we are fine. Stop expecting something more and prepare for tomorrow. The news of my marriage will spread like wildfire. Yes, young master. Alfred once again gave up. He didn't know how he would handle two young adults who would eventually bottle up any feelings they had because of the contract. They already agreed to be married forever. Why not just toss the contract out the window if they are getting along so well? Alfred wondered. Young people these days and their relationships. Meanwhile, as Edgar walked up the stairs to go to the second floor, he decided to not check up on Alessandra. He already asked her what she was feeling, and she was not in need of being comforted based on what he saw. Edgar was not going to force Alessandra into talking about her father's. Alfred thought Alessandra would be crying alone in her room, but quite frankly, Edgar believed she didn't care about her father's. His bathroom is huge, Alessandra commented as she looked around Edgar's bathroom while she sat in a tub of water. I could fit 3 of my bathrooms inside of here. Did one person truly need so much space? Edgar's wealth had no bounds, as even his bathroom was enough to make anyone jealous. Though Edgar had wealth, it didn't seem like he was the type to flaunt it. From the many times she eavesdropped on the guests speaking at the parties her father threw from time to time, all anyone ever did was talk about the expensive things they bought, from houses all the way down to rings. Alessandra always thought these people spoke looking for validation. They wanted to show they belonged in high society and bought ridiculous things to show off their wealth. I would rather have the money saved instead of wearing something just for others to comment on it, she said. I won't fit in, Alessandra mumbled. It wasn't just the mask and the rumors that wouldn't make her blend in with Edgar's peers. It was her personality and what she viewed as important in life that would make her different. She didn't grow up caring about appearances and wealth. She only wanted to have fun. Ow! Alessandra yelled as something pricked her skin. Looking for the cause of it, she realized the wired ring was still on her finger. Is there something wrong with me if I prefer this to a diamond ring? It suits me more, she said, carefully twirling the ring around her finger. She was not going to get rid of the ring Edgar created for their wedding. It would serve as a memory of what happened on this very night when she became a duchess. My lady! Alessandra's eyes slowly opened as the faint sound of someone's voice could be heard in the distance. Why is someone here so early? She muttered, drifting back to sleep. My lady! Yes, Alessandra replied, opening her eyes once again at the sound of someone's voice. They don't normally come so early. Where? She paused as the unfamiliar sight of furniture greeted her. Alessandra sat up to look around the room she was in. Her memory of last night suddenly came back to her. I am at the Duke's home. My new home.
My lady?
Give me one moment, Alessandra said to the person at the door. She had to crawl to the edge of Edgar's massive bed. It was another thing she did not understand why one person would need. An entire family could sleep on the bed and still have space. Does Edgar sleep in some kind of weird position for him to need so much space? She wondered. After a small workout to get off the bed, Alessandra rushed to the door to open it for whoever had paid her a visit, but stopped before she could touch the door handle as she remembered her veil. Alessandra made a quick run back to the bathroom where she had taken off the veil and then returned to open the door. As she took in Alessandra's appearance, her cheeks started to turn red and her eyes avoided Alessandra. Confused, Alessandra looked down at her attire, and only now did she realize she had gone to sleep in one of Edgar's shirts, as she had no clothes here. The young girl must have misunderstood it, but Alessandra was not going to correct her. Is there a reason you are calling for me? Alessandra asked in an attempt to switch the conversation to something else.
Yes, the Duke tasked me with getting you ready for breakfast. He has also sent these for you.
The young maid pushed a basket towards Alessandra. Alessandra first laid eyes on a blue mask. It was elegant, with a design of swirls and small crystals encrusted around the edges. Along with the mask was a blue dress to match. It was obvious the Duke had spent a good amount of money on the two.
There is also matching jewelry and shoes underneath. After breakfast, the dressmaker will come with dresses for you to pick out. The Duke has a craftsman at hand to create masks to match the dresses you like. Can I come inside to start your bath, Duchess?
What? Alessandra asked, as she was focusing more on the gifts Edgar sent than what the girl was saying. Oh, come inside. What is your name? I should have asked you first.
It is Jennifer, Duchess. I have worked for the Duke for a year now. I am happy to be serving you.
Jennifer bowed, showing respect to the new Duchess. I hope we can get along. Alessandra smiled. As Jennifer stepped inside, she noticed that the young brunette girl must be around her age, or perhaps just a little bit older. Their closeness should hopefully allow them to get along well. Another thing Alessandra noted was Jennifer's lack of reaction to her presence. She had a feeling Edgar had an early morning talk with his workers. Alessandra closed the bedroom door, then took the basket to a table for after she would be finished with her bath. While Jennifer had gone to the bathroom to start filling the tub with warm water, Alessandra took off the veil to replace it with the new mask. The mask Edgar sent was more luxurious than she needed it to be, but she wasn't going to turn it down. Her life was no longer going to be simple. Therefore, she needed to get used to these kinds of things. She needed to act and dress like a duchess.
Duchess, the water has started to fill the tub and the soaps have been dropped into the water. Do you need my help to get...
Jennifer asked as soon as she exited the bathroom. No, it is only a shirt I have on, Alessandra replied.
If you need anything, please call me right away,
said Jennifer. She kept a pleasant smile on her face until the moment Alessandra passed by her and went into the bathroom. With Alessandra out of sight, she frowned.
Why did the Duke marry such a woman?
Jennifer could not believe the rumors passing around the other servants about Edgar bringing home a wife last night. It was only when Edgar gathered the entire servant staff early in the morning and confirmed his marriage that she believed it. However, when Edgar said the name of his wife, Jennifer thought he was pranking his servants. If not for the Duke giving them a warning not to harm his wife and bring any lies about her into his home, Jennifer would not have been so kind to Alessandra when they first met.
Why isn't the Duke concerned about being cursed?
Jennifer thought.
A man with the status Edgar has should not be married to a woman like this. She must have placed a spell over the Duke. I must inform his mother of this,
Jennifer concluded. She was not going to allow Alessandra to ruin the Duke's reputation. If they stood by and did nothing, the Duke would soon die at the hands of Alessandra.
I hope Edgar has not seen her awful face. I have chills just from looking at it.
She shivered. Jennifer, how do you turn off the water before it flows over? Alessandra asked from inside the bathroom. Jennifer rolled her eyes, finding Alessandra to be annoying. But, of course, someone like Alessandra wouldn't know how to work the advanced things Edgar had throughout his home. The Baron's house could not compare.
I am coming, Duchess.
Jennifer forced her sweetest smile before going to the bathroom.
It is right here.
She turned off the pipe from behind the tub. Thank you. The tub I have back at home was not like this. The handle to stop the water sat right above the tub.
You'll get used to the Duke's home soon. Shall I brush your hair?
Jennifer asked, only to use it as an opportunity to take her anger out on Alessandra.
I can use the Duke's brush,
she spoke sweetly. Yes, please. I fell last night and there might be a few pieces of grass or twigs in my hair. I tried to get them out, but ow! Alessandra winced the moment Jennifer brushed her hair.
I'm so sorry, Duchess. Please forgive me. There is a knot in your hair. I should have noticed it.
Jennifer quickly apologized. She grinned, taking pleasure in Alessandra's pain. It's okay, Alessandra replied. She took it as a mistake, but when it happened a second time, Alessandra knew she would not be getting along with Jennifer. Ow! That is enough! Alessandra could no longer take the pain of Jennifer purposely trying to make her bald. She searched her own hair last night and did not come across any of these so-called knots Jennifer was referring to. Have I upset you in some sort of way? She had to ask. Alessandra wanted to know whether it was the rumors of her being cursed or something else that she unknowingly did to upset Jennifer.
No, you have not, Duchess.
Jennifer set the brush to the side. It contained numerous strands she yanked out of Alessandra's hair. It was enough to calm her anger for now.
I apologize if I was a little rough. This is how I normally brush Edgar's hair,
she lied. Edgar? Alessandra picked up on Jennifer referring to the Duke by his first name and not his title. She must have a good relationship with him to refer to him like this, or Jennifer was simply trying to toy with her. It was bold of anyone to act like this in front of the new Duchess. She's trying to torture me because she likes Edgar? This is child's play compared to the torture I have endured, Alessandra thought to herself. Anyone who wanted to toy with her would need to come harder. Jennifer did not make her feel jealous or weak. Their interaction only made her irritated, as this was officially her first day here. She had not been given a tour of the home, and already there was someone treating her this way. It was too early in the morning to be making an enemy.
Please do not tell.
Then do your job correctly, Alessandra interjected before Jennifer could continue with her act. She was well aware that if she remained mute and allowed Jennifer to do things to hurt her, it wouldn't be long before others joined in to do the same. I will have no choice but to let you go if you purposely yank on my hair. Jennifer was taken aback by Alessandra's words. It was not even a full day as Duchess, yet the woman spoke as if she owned the home. She was certain the rumor said Alessandra Barrett was a shy young lady. but the person here spoke so boldly.
Pardon me, Duchess, but you're not in any position to fire me.
Alessandra looked over her shoulder to where Jennifer stood behind her. Now that this home has a duchess, dealing with the servants will become my job. I don't care how you feel about me, but I suggest if you want to keep your job, you do it correctly when you're in my presence. Either you brush my hair properly, or you leave. Alessandra played with her fingers as she became anxious. She was taking a risk by threatening to fire a servant who most likely could have a good relationship with Edgar. Would he back her up on this or shame her in front of his servants? Although Edgar was helpful when it came to her family problems, Jennifer was one of his servants, and Alessandra had no clue how he would react to her firing the people he knew well. However, she was not going to show Jennifer this fear.
I apologize, Duchess.
Jennifer looked away, hiding the shame she felt for having to apologize to Alessandra. It was an insult to have to apologize to someone who needed to hide their awful face. You can leave. Alessandra dismissed her in the end. She was not in the mood for Jennifer to brush her hair at all. The few times her hair was yanked on was enough to make it sore. If Alessandra was a petty person, she would make Jennifer have to sit and her hair be yanked out. Luckily for Jennifer, Alessandra was not going to stoop to that level. Without a word, Jennifer left the bathroom, leaving Alessandra alone. Alessandra would regret this, as help was needed to put on the dress Edgar sent.
This is better. I hope she cannot get the dress on.
She smiled. Why can't everyone just be nice? Alessandra muttered. She knew she had to deal with women who sought after Edgar's affection, but she did not expect to be attacked by one of his servants. Alessandra did not care about Edgar having it, but she would prefer it if it was not someone she had to see every day. The conflict would be unnecessary. By the way she acted, it might have been a crush. If Edgar does not know about her feelings, who is making her so confident to act this way towards the new Duchess? Alessandra wondered. It wouldn't be too long before the person Jennifer worked for would show themselves. Inevitably, it was best they fire Jennifer. They did not need a spy watching their every movement and then reporting it back to someone else. They were welcoming the chance of their relationship being exposed by keeping such a person around. I'll bring it up at breakfast. Alessandra sank deep into the tub, enjoying the warmth of the water and the fresh scent of the soap. Compared to last night, she felt more relaxed. A new day brought on new beginnings. There was no need to worry about her father, Katrina, and Kate. Alessandra hoped to never have to hear of them nor see them ever again. Alessandra? Edgar's voice came from outside of the bathroom. Edgar! She perked up, causing water to splash over the edge. Are you not an early bird? If you were still tired, you could have sent the maid away with the message. Remember, you have the power to do as you please, except for someone. You mustn't get your hands dirty. As I recall, someone was supposed to help you this morning, said Edgar. Edgar spotted the basket he sent, but there was no one here waiting to aid Alessandra when she was done with her bath. 2 maids walked past him as he was coming to their bedroom. He wondered if they were the ones meant to be helping Alessandra. How do you know there is no one inside with me? Alessandra wondered if he could see right through the walls. It is too quiet. Can I come in? Edgar asked before he made a move. He would rather not scare her so early in the day. Not yet, at least. You can come in. Alessandra blushed. Why was he here anyway? I was only teasing you, Alessandra. You make it too easy, he chuckled. Is there something you need from me, Edgar? Aside from getting a reaction out of me from your teasing? Alessandra knew there had to be a reason why he was here. Unless he was only here to tease her? If so, was Edgar truly a bored person? I wanted to confirm that there is no one here. Did they leave as soon as they brought the basket? They were supposed to help you get dressed. Edgar gave clear instructions earlier while Alessandra was asleep, and hated to think his servants were going to ignore his order and mistreat his wife. I met a girl who looks around my age named Jennifer. I think she has a crush on you, Edgar. She tried to brush out all my hair. Alessandra placed her hand on the sore spots. I see. Edgar picked up his brush, which was now full of hair. What does she look like? Do you have no idea who I'm talking about? Alessandra found this to be surprising. Jennifer casually called his name as if they had spoken before. If I did, I wouldn't have asked you to describe her. It appears she pulled out quite a lot of your hair. Silly thing. Is this her way of asking to be punished? She only needed to come to me. Edgar smiled, placing the brush back down. They'll be in need of a new female servant today. I will take care of it myself. I'm sure there are many others who are protective of you. I must use Jennifer as an example to warn them. Please leave it to me, Alessandra begged. This was not a battle Edgar needed to concern himself with. Do as you wish. Thank you. From the way she acted, I assumed the possibility of her being... Edgar's faint laughter interrupted Alessandra. I am smarter than that, Alessandra. Luckily, there is nothing you need to fear. I see. I am sorry for having such a thought, Alessandra said. Your life will be easy due to the fact that I will have no... Enlighten me, Alessandra. What type of man do you take me for? Is there some sort of rumor going around? How awful of them to make me out to be such a man when I am nothing more than a saint. Had this been anyone else, Alessandra might have believed their words. However, whenever Edgar spoke, she picked up on his sarcasm and refused to accept his words. Let's avoid that drama before it can even start. Right. Do you have any idea what could be making Jennifer so bold? To harshly comb a duchess's hair means there's someone behind her. The maids back at the Barrett household would sometimes mistreat her because they had Kate behind them to help rescue them if the butler were to find out. Edgar had not mentioned anyone else living with him, which meant it must be a relative living close by. It is probably my mother. She plants a few of her spies here and there to keep an eye on me. It appears I missed one. That was Alfred's mistake. How should I break this to the perfectionist? Edgar grinned. Alfred would have a panic attack if he knew he missed getting rid of one of his mother's spies. Why is it Alfred's mistake and not your mistake? Alessandra accidentally asked out loud. Alfred is the one to deal with the servants. I passed him the basket and told him to send someone to serve you. Anyone working for my mother should not have been still working for me. It is not hard to recognize who is her spy, as they are always following me around. Alfred should have picked up on this and fired her. I like to keep my mother out of my business. What is your mother like? Alessandra had never heard anything about Edgar's mother. She didn't even know her name. Dramatic. I have to be rude and step out for an errand. Therefore, I cannot attend breakfast with you, but Alfred will be here to help. There are more gifts waiting for you downstairs. What you don't like, set aside, and I will send for something else, said Edgar. Thank you. I'm sorry, I don't have anything to offer you. Alessandra once again felt saddened by not having anything to give to Edgar. She was the only one receiving something. I came by to say I will be going to collect your things and speak to the Baroness about her late husband. Is there anything specific you desperately need to come along with you? Edgar asked. No. Everything is in my bedroom, but there is no guarantee either Katrina or Kate did not destroy them because of my father's. Whatever is there, you can bring. Oh, there is a girl I chose to be my personal maid. Can you bring her along, or is that too much? She asked, due to the fact Edgar would be the one paying for Sally's services. Seeing as we are about to fire someone, it is not a problem. But I first need to inspect the type of person this maid is before I allow her into my home. Edgar bid goodbye. I hope he doesn't Katrina or Kate, Alessandra softly muttered. She contemplated going with Edgar to make sure no one would be harmed, but then decided against it. The goal was to never step foot in that house again, and she planned to stick to it. Katrina, Kate, and Edgar were grown enough to be able to speak calmly. In the Barrett household, Kate dragged her feet downstairs to head for breakfast. Her body felt heavy as she was unable to sleep last night due to her father's. She hoped to stay awake to keep the morning from coming when she would have to help her mother start planning for her father's funeral. Life was strange, in Kate's opinion. One moment her father had been here, giving her everything she ever wanted, and now he was gone. For the first time, their house felt uncomfortable. How would they be able to survive this loss?
This is unfair,
Kate mumbled. It was unfair for her mother to be left picking up the pieces while Alessandra was somewhere on the Duke's estate, living life without a care. Their father's death involved Alessandra, and she should be held responsible for it.
Does she think she's better than me because she's living with the Duke? Once he has his way with her, she'll be crawling back to us. No one listened to me when I said she was evil. A good daughter would be here to mourn the loss of their father,
said Kate. It was clear in Kate's eyes that she was the only one to love their father. She was the one who stayed awake the entire night crying over his. She had always been the one to care about his reputation and always did as he asked. Alessandra was nothing more than an ungrateful burden.
You need to send invitations to his family regarding the funeral. I would honestly not like to invite any of them, as they only came to Desmond when they wanted money. But it wouldn't be a good look to leave them out.
Kate heard her mother's voice coming from the direction of her father's private room.
James, I need you to put everything valuable belonging to Desmond into a pile. We'll have to sell some of them to pay off some of the debts he had. Send a notice to all the tenants on our land to pay their rent before 7 days are up.
Katrina rubbed her temple to relieve the stress.
Yes, Baroness,
James replied, then left the room.
Why would you sell some of his things, Mother?
Kate stormed into the room. They should be cherishing her father's belongings and placing them in this room as a memory of him.
It'll help with the countless things we need to pay for, like giving your father a proper funeral, for example. The guards from last night said the king might give us money, and I am hoping the Duke will offer us something since he has Alessandra. I won't sell your father's important things. Oh, dear.
Katrina sat up as she laid eyes on Kate's appearance.
Did you not look in the mirror before you came downstairs, Kate? You look awful.
Katrina knew they were meant to be mourning, but it didn't mean they should resemble the.
We are going to have a lot of guests passing by to give their condolences. You need to fix your appearance before they arrive,
Katrina said. She planned to make use of the attention on them to find Kate a good suitor, now that Edgar was not an option. Katrina would do everything in her power to make sure Kate married a man with equal status as Edgar Collins. It would bring her shame to have her stepdaughter living better than her own daughter.
Is that really important right now, Mother? We are in the middle of preparing for my father's. My appearance should be excused.
Kate proceeded to sit down, going against what her mother told her to do. Katrina sighed. Slightly annoyed, Kate didn't know when to use her brain.
Do you plan to stay with me forever, Kate? All of your friends are finding good suitors and will be married before you know it. They all know they must do whatever it takes to secure their future. Look at Alessandra.
Do not mention her to me,
Kate yelled, angered by Alessandra's name being called.
I am well aware I am the one in my friend group meant to be married first. I am the one who is meant to be waking up in Edgar's arms right now. Don't you think I understand that, Mother? What makes you think I want to hear about how good Alessandra is to trap Edgar?
Kate could not believe her mother was impressed by what Alessandra had done. Why was no one seeing the truth that Alessandra had cursed Edgar? In what world would Edgar barren for someone like Alessandra? Kate started the rumor about Alessandra being cursed as a joke, but now she was starting to believe it.
We should avenge Father by having the Duke bring her back. Father's last wish was to send Alessandra to someone else.
Kate, stop pretending this is about your father. You are upset that Alessandra has taken your place, but I am warning you to let it go. I am just as confused as you are about Alessandra and Edgar. But last night, Edgar, your father for Alessandra. Do not go near that man ever again. Do you understand me?
Katrina asked. Katrina was well aware of the feelings Kate had for Edgar, but she sensed the danger Kate could find herself in.
Edgar belongs to me. I am not going to give him up to Alessandra so easily. If you love me, you would do everything in your power to give him back to me. Father would have done everything possible to give me what I want.
Kate teared up. Her mother did not love her as her father did.
It is not easy for me to just hand a person over to you, Kate. I tried my best to push you and Edgar together. I cannot be blamed for Alessandra having captured his attention. Kate, give up on the feelings you have for him while Alessandra is with him. If you see him, please avoid him at all costs. Edgar Collins will be the death of us.
I am not going to let go of him, Mother, especially to the likes of Alessandra. She had to know I was in love with Edgar. That is why she targeted him. Edgar should know the type of person she is before he thinks of marrying her.
Kate abruptly stood up, making up her mind to go to Edgar's home.
Kate, he is your father. Can you honestly love him after he has done such a thing? You are a hopeless romantic, and as much as I would like for you to marry the man of your dreams, I need to step in as your mother to prevent a union between you and Edgar. You cannot be like Alessandra,
Katrina yelled.
If I can't have him, I do not wish to live,
Kate confessed. She could not live on knowing she lost the one man she loved to Alessandra. She was much better than Alessandra, so why hadn't Edgar picked her?
You...
Katrina was lost for words. She could not believe Kate wanted Edgar this much. With her daughter this determined, there was nothing she could do to change Kate's mind. Edgar would be a bigger catch than Desmond was, she thought. Katrina made the impossible happen to become a Baroness. It would be risky, but with careful planning, they might be able to get Edgar back.
Fine. You will have him, but promise me that you will work on your emotions.
Yes, Mother!
Kate jumped for joy.
It's one headache after the next,
Katrina sighed.
Baroness.
James entered the room, interrupting Kate's moment.
Duke Edgar Collins is here?
Edgar?
Kate's eyes lit up.
Kate, calm down before you embarrass yourself in front of him. James, invite him into the parlor and offer him one of our finest drinks. Katrina instructed the butler. Kate, I don't know what sort of good luck you've stumbled upon, but we'll make the most of it. Now, do you see why I said to fix your appearance? Blood drained from Kate's face as she realized how horrible she looked right now. Mother, please stall him for me. I need to change. Kate picked up her dress and dashed upstairs. A lady does not run so wild, Kate, Katrina yelled to her daughter. What on earth am I going to do with that child? I should really get her married and get her out of my hair. Although Katrina was happy to have Edgar here, she couldn't stop feeling like something was going to go terribly wrong. Is Alessandra here with him? She wouldn't miss the chance to gloat. I should have sent her away the moment I got married to Desmond. Why on earth didn't her mother run away with her? Katrina despised Desmond's first wife for leaving a child behind. Why should Katrina be tasked with playing mother to Alessandra when her own mother was running around without any worries? All her problems would have been solved had Alessandra's mother acted as a mother should. Katrina continued to sit in the private room to buy time for Kate. There was no telling how long Edgar planned to stay, and if the conversation would be quick, Kate might miss out on the chance to speak with Edgar. I have spoiled this child too much, but I have always said I wanted to give her a better life than what I had, said Katrina. She didn't get to grow up in a house like this or be given whatever she wanted just by asking. Katrina had to play dirty to get what she wanted. Having a grand title was something she always wanted, and Desmond was the perfect tool to get it. Katrina wished Kate had the same kind of thinking, doing whatever it took to get what you wanted and not waiting for someone else to hand it to you. That was Kate's problem. No one could make Edgar take a liking to Kate but Kate. Katrina used her brains and looks to get where she was. Kate needed to stop being emotional and do the same.
Baroness?
James returned once again.
The Duke is planning to leave since it appears you are busy.
What? Why didn't you tell him we have just woken up and are getting dressed? Come up with a good excuse. Why are you choosing now to be so useless? Katrina exclaimed, highly frustrated with James.
The parlor is right in front of the Baron's private room. He might have seen me walk into here and quite possibly saw Kate running away.
James defended himself. It wasn't his fault the Baroness was stupid enough to place Edgar in the room right beside her. It was obvious they were stalling. Then you should have stopped me from doing so. Run along and tell Kate to hurry and come downstairs. Oh, wait. How do I look? Katrina stood up for James to judge her clothes.
You look wonderful, Baroness. Excuse me.
James left the room. He did not want to be caught in her trap again, especially with the Duke here.
Why is she acting as if the Duke will care about her appearance?
He whispered. What kind of man is he? Katrina asked herself. James could have used better words to describe her appearance. At this age, she was still quite the beauty. That was why James himself had always been sneaking glances at her when he thought she wasn't watching. Katrina pushed her thoughts about James to the side for now. She had a more difficult man to deal with. Katrina exited the private room and went straight towards the parlor. Duke Edgar, it is a pleasure to have you in our home. She greeted him with a curtsy.
Baroness, it is hard to see how much of a pleasure it is when you are sitting in the next room while I am here.
Edgar extended his hand out to greet the woman. If not for the entertainment coming his way, Edgar would have left the moment he witnessed Kate running somewhere. It seemed the Baroness and daughter thought he was still a single man. How could he miss the chance to turn their dream into a nightmare? Katrina was unsure how to respond to Edgar. Why did he feel the need to always say what was on his mind? Couldn't he have spared her from the embarrassment? I was organizing my husband's things. You have put us in a difficult position, Duke Edgar. She shook his hand.
Why does everyone blame me for their problems?
You, my husband last night, Katrina reminded him, as it appeared he had forgotten what transpired last night. He is gone because of you, and now we are left to pick up the pieces. Life will be hard for me and my daughter now.
My apologies.
Edgar offered a sincere apology.
I should have taken him off your property and then... How about I pay for your servants having to clean it up?
He offered. Did you just say your wife? Katrina slowly asked, digesting the words as she said them. Edgar mentioning his wife was the only thing she heard coming from his mouth.
That is what you call the woman a man marries, is it not? In the eyes of the law, you are now my mother-in-law, but considering you have not looked at Alessandra as your own daughter, I will refrain from viewing you as such. You seem surprised, Baroness.
Edgar smiled, enjoying the panicked look creeping its way onto the woman's face. When did the two of you get married? Desmond did not give her away to you yet.
Wrong. He gave us permission for us to wed. There is also the time I visited your home and he accepted. I hope you don't mind that we did not offer you an invitation last night. It was such a rash decision,
said Edgar. You two got married last night? Right after her father was... Katrina could not fathom how Alessandra could easily marry the man, father, without a second thought. Katrina started to worry about Kate's reaction to the news. Kate should not see Edgar right now. Excuse me, Duke Edgar. I must... Mother! Kate entered the parlor with a bright aura surrounding her. It was as if she had not been mourning her father a moment ago. Duke Edgar, she greeted the man who held her heart. This was the quickest she had ever gotten dressed to perfection, but nothing was impossible when Edgar was near. The Duke and I were having a private conversation, Kate. You should go have breakfast, and I will come to you when we are done, Katrina said, attempting to turn Kate away before her heart could be broken once again. Katrina no longer wanted to help Kate steal Alessandra from Edgar now that he was married. The only way they could do this would be to make Kate... Katrina did not wish for Kate to have this reputation. Can't I stay? Kate looked to Edgar for permission. She did not understand why her mother was ruining this moment after they had just come to an agreement to make her become the Duchess.
I don't see why not.
Edgar shrugged his shoulders.
See? It's okay, Mother.
Kate's smile widened. She took a seat in the chair next to Edgar. Thank you for coming to see how we were doing after my father passed away.
Don't thank me. As the town guard said, I needed to be here. I was just offering to pay your workers for having to clean up your father in the middle of the night. Do you accept it, Baroness?
Edgar stared at the older woman, picking up how nervous she was. Edgar liked the way the older woman was starting to sweat, as if the room suddenly became hot. Who could have known the Baron's home was such a good place to toy with others? Yes, Katrina replied. Her hand shook in fear of the possibility of Edgar's marriage being mentioned. As long as Kate does not mention Alessandra, the news would stay hidden until Edgar leaves. That is really kind of you, said Kate.
You're awfully kind to the man, your father. Is there something you want from me?
Edgar questioned as the young woman looked as if she was ready to jump onto him like he was her prey. He was tempted to push his chair back to get away from her. If you, my father, It means he did something bad, right? I hear that this is the job given to you by the king.
Kate's words made Katrina look at her daughter with a confused expression. Regardless of what Desmond did, he did it with the interest of providing for his family, providing for Kate specifically. Unlike Katrina, Kate endlessly loved her father. It came as a shock to hear Kate say these things just to look good in front of Edgar.
I also think something took control of you last night, Duke Edgar. I heard you are sheltering Alessandra in your home.
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.